All right, guys, this is Norval Central coming back at you another YouTube video. And I really appreciate all the love and support so far that I have showcased on some of my content that I have posted so far. But let's go ahead and get straight into the video today. So, of course, Patrick Surtain has not secured a commitment in this time since he has been hired by Florida State. Of course, he did have four-star safety CJ Hurd in the class, but that was before when Coach Woodson was here. Now he is actually trying to get his own class kind of together, and I think that Florida State's probably going to go after four defensive backs. Now they actually have some help, as on Saturday afternoon, Florida State has now gotten a commitment from four-star defensive back Ricky Knight III out of Cardinal Newman High School in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. And I think this is a situation where the Seminoles actually had a good lead on Ricky Knight for a while. They offered him really early in the process back on January the 15th of 2023, and Surtain was actually hired on January 18th of 2023. The relationship continued to grow and blossom as they go together, and I think that Florida State had an intention that they wanted Ricky Knight to be in this class. Now, of course, the number one target in this class is Charles Lester. This does not interfere anything with Charles Lester. He is still deciding on July 28th. He did move his commitment date up one day from July 29th to July 28th. He is now picking between Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, and also Colorado. Those are the four teams that are going to be interested in his services. But let's go ahead and get back to Knight. I think that Knight is a really, really good prospect that Florida State really likes in this class. 6 foot, 175 pounds. I think he's going to get a little bit bigger in terms of maybe getting close to that 190, 195 mark at this point. And I do think that this is a prospect that Florida State can grow into something really, really special. Now, the thing is, Florida State actually had his official visit scheduled for June the 16th. Went and did it. It was a phenomenal visit. He talked about how much love he felt for Florida State because they were the first school to offer. He turned around and went to Miami the next week for our last official visit before the dead period started to hit. So everybody kind of thought, okay, South Florida kid, going to Miami for his last official visit. Can this crystal ball type of situation last with Ricky Knight? That was a question mark that Florida State fans were kind of monitoring as we go through the process. Was Surtain actually going to be able to land a first commitment, or was he going to strike out and have to kind of figure out other options? That kind of worried Florida State fans a little bit because defensive recruiting was not really picking up the way it should have been. But now, when you look at it as we go through now, this is a really, really good get for Florida State. Whether he's going to be your quarterback number 2 or maybe your cornerback number 3, I think this could be a situation where Florida State can really think about having to figure out what to do. Because if you get him, you get Jalewis Solomon basically, because that Florida State is his number one school at this point. Charles Lester, and then you maybe get Kevin Levy. I think that could also be another prospect that they can go after as a cornerback number 4, or possibly if you move Solomon to safety, who knows? But I think the possibilities are endless as we go through the process now, because now that you have Knight in the class, you can be able to recruit some of those South Florida kids. And I think it's just kind of the sky's the limit with this class as well, because when you look at Levy and Knight, both of them are first cousins together. They're family members. They want to play together. I think you can recruit him to Florida State if he is a take in this class, which I do definitely think he is. But I think that this could be a kind of jumpstart in what Florida State wants in the defensive recruiting. Because, of course, when you look at guys like D.D. Holmes, who just committed recently, I think this can be a situation where now you're starting to see the defensive recruiting picking up. Now the offense can kind of take its toll as we go through this process together and kind of finish out its finishing touches. And now the defensive side of the ball is now getting its love that it deserves. And I think this defensive staff is taking a lot of flack the last couple of weeks, but I think you're starting to see those fireworks start to build up as we go through the process. But I think this is a wonderful get for Florida State, and I cannot be more happier as we go through the process now, because it's kind of a sigh of relief for some of those fans out there that are kind of questioning the defensive recruiting. But I really appreciate all the love and support as always. Be sure to hit Ricky Knight as we go through with his Instagram account, his Twitter account, and be sure to follow both of those guys. Social media accounts also. I really appreciate all the love and support as always, and go Noles.